New World Order, Lotus Eletre vs Audi SQ8 E-tron. Audi is a master of electric SUVs, but Lotus is a rookie. Can the Eletre hold its own against the SQ8? For years, for decades, even there's nothing. You can trawl for as long as you like through rather wonderful digital archive, incidences of the Lotus and Audi brands, so distant from each other for so long, operating within market niches entirely discrete from one another. Finding their way into competition, in the same group test, simply don't exist. Then, in 2006, shots were fired, the Audi R8 appeared, and the following year, it won our annual Britain's Best Drivers Car Contest, beating the Lotus 11 in the process. The point is this: Lotus is no longer that same company we think we know. After so many wilderness years, we need no longer debate any of the following: that Hethel's new plan is really serious, and now actually happening. The Lotus Eletre is here. Introducing the Lotus Eletre and Audi SQ8 E-tron. There would have been ways, after all, for a company such as Lotus to step a little carefully into the luxury car market. But there's branching out, there's taking a risk, and then there's this. The Eletre is a 5.1 meter long, 2.5 ton, all-electric SUV that hails from a company that had hitherto never so much has made a car with electromechanical power steering, never mind one with 4 doors, or for driven wheels, or air suspension, or all the rest of it. This car is so unlike anything that Lotus has previously come close to building. Before that, you could almost have slapped any badge on its bonnet. Incredulity is an entirely natural response to it. This isn't a car, some might say, so much as a raging bonfire of sacred ideals. But aside from all that, and having spent a long day with the Eletre, in the company of a very able competitor, in the shape of Audi's SQ8 E-tron Sportback, I think I'd call it a whacking great exclamation mark, something so large and conspicuous that you can't help noticing it, so bold, and such a departure that you can't but have a reaction. Like it or not, the Eletre is a statement both potent and provocative. It is quite deliberately a what the flip moment. Lotus Eletre vs Audi SQ8 E-tron, design and chassis. The Lotus's sheer size might have escaped one or two early reviewers, but when it's parked next to another 100,000 pounds, all-electric performance SUV, it's as plain as can be. Even by the standards of big cars, this is a big car, not so tall, but really long in profile. It's more than 180 millimeters longer than the Audi and almost 50 millimeters wider across the mirrors. Quite clearly, it's not even trying to be relatively small. When such visible bulk is in play, there seems little point dwelling on minor differences of mechanical specification, except to observe that, even here, Lotus isn't really taking the lighter, more efficient road. Sure, the Eletre is a little over 100 kilograms lighter than the SQ8 on paper, but it's also ostensibly some 6 years younger, and, given how far the EV powertrain technology has come since 2018, 100 kilograms on a car this size doesn't seem like much. The Lotus has a battery capacity almost identical to that of the Audi, and its wheels are even bigger, so no weight saving there, either. Both cars hit a drag coefficient of 0.26, if actual lightness and efficiency mattered to the creators of the Eletre, rather than the mere dynamic impression of it, to which we will come shortly enough. It can't have been very much. Lotus Eletre vs Audi SQ8 E-tron, interior. It would have been a spectacular own goal for Lotus to have gone so large with this car, only to fail to package it efficiently enough to create a sense of genuinely expansive space within, and yet it is also not the kind of slip-up you would have put past the company 20 years ago. Well, clearly the new Lotus is a bird of a different feather, because the Eletre's cabin is huge. It feels really wide and accommodating in both rows. The driving position is a little more laid back than is SUV typical, but there's loads of legroom in the back. The seats are fairly firm back here, and the cabin floor is a little high, leaving your thighs short on support. The Eletre's cabin is a cocoon of soft Alcantara, with barely a plain molded surface anywhere to be seen. Textured, rattan-style trim panels invite your fingertips, as do oversized metallic switches, to control just about everything you could want. every fitting. From the sculptural door speakers to ambient lit fascia trim and decorated column stocks is vying for your sensory approval. This is pervasive luxury done by a brand that used to be philosophically opposed to it. The Eletre's cabin could almost cut it at £200,000. The SQ8, very neat, solid, and pleasant as it is, just can't compete. It hasn't got the wow factor. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for other new videos. Thank you.